Very good evening. You're watching Roundtable. A man who has been at the helm of a company suddenly says that he wants to resign. A girl comes to his office and says, "Boss, you don't have a right to hurt people." What is the right you have to hurt people? This question was something that made a man to ponder over his decision and to justify why he wanted to take this decision. This evening, I was lucky enough to invite this person of high caliber whom I can put into the type of the best class of corporate citizens who has led a Sri Lankan company to be a force to be reckoned with, who has been a trendsetter, who has defined what corporate governance is, what a corporate citizen should play as its the entrenched role, and also what should a person who is occupying the top seat should play in the eyes of the subordinates. He is none other than Mr. Deepal Suriyarachchi, who does hardly need any introduction. So I take this opportunity to first of all welcome Mr. Suriyarachchi on board with Roundtable. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. Nice
I'm very much glad to have you. And as a start off, I'm very indebted to you for accepting this invitation. And I'm sure that this discussion is going to be a very, very prolific one. So, Mr. Suriyarachchi, I can introduce as a person who has profusely faced and enjoyed the challenges in the corporate world, as a person who has risen from an entry-level position in the private sector to sublime to one of the topmost positions. So at my introduction, I stated that how the question that confronted you, how when you made the announcement, the various types of questions that came across you. And usually when a boss leaves the company, most of the employees say, thank God at least he has decided to leave now. So let's start off from there. 30 years in the private sector, of which 20 years counted at Eagle Insurance, and suddenly you come out and say, hey, I want to retire this year. So let's get to that straightforward. And how did that happen?
I have been answering this question the last few weeks so much, but when I was asked to take over this position at that time, I knew my heart was telling, I need to do more on people development and things like that. Then I said maximum 3 years. I have gone beyond 3. And this year I complete 30 years of work life, 20 years at Eagle, and I turned 50 this year. So I thought everything fits in well for 2010, and I wanted to take a change and maybe start a new career.
I'm sure most of my viewers would be definitely envying you, would be jealous of you saying that at 50 that you wanted to get into active retirement. I will not spare you there. Now,
we have a product which says, why wait for 55?
I mean, you're one smart corporate guy to decide that at 50 you want to get into active retirement. Why I said active retirement is, I'm sure that he has plans in his retirement, especially like he mentioned that you stated that in making your announcement of retirement that you wanted to pursue your professional marketing career and want to get involved in academic activities, helping out the Sri Lankans to get themselves educated. So would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, I think I love training. I love people development, and I think I'm good in explaining things, and I think I can contribute a lot to the corporates in that sense, in a full-time basis. I mean, you never know that I still haven't moved out of the company. I'm still with the company. I'll be there till at least till June. And I had to give this announcement, 6 months notice, and I will take a little break and then try something else.
I have a feeling that you are about to form your own company, maybe in the form of a training or a positioning company.
I still haven't concretized something like that, but sometimes it's interesting to be in a lucid state.
State and get the inputs and vibes from the other side.
Yeah, interesting times, yeah.
Well, Mr. Deepal, you were at Eagle Insurance for last 20 years. And something, to be frank, to be frank with you, when I read on the paper suddenly, on one of our morning shows on Prime Sunrise with Deepa Suresh, Deepa to quit Eagle Insurance, retire. I mean, it came like a shock, to be frank with you, because I was thinking, you completed being in the post of the managing director about nearly 3 years, and you suddenly want to retire, because what we have seen is like when somebody reaches the pinnacle, they hardly renounce that, they hardly retire from that. I feel that that does a talking for your character. So I would like if you can explain to us what made you to renounce this all-important position in a short period of 3 years' time, and I'm sure that you are going to go into record books of being the very rare type of managing director who has left his position in a 3-year period.
No, I was there almost now 5 years.
Okay.
3 years is what I wanted to, but I stayed on 5.
5 years.
Yeah,
I would believe still that's very short.
Maybe. Maybe it's short, maybe long, how you look at it, right? Actually, when I took over the position as an MD, I started working myself out of that job. And in the first workshop I had with my top team, we were looking at what would 2010. I said in 2010, I'll be retiring. But nobody took me seriously. But in my mind, that was the kind of time horizon I was willing to give for this. Because if I stay on, okay, unless I have a major regional ambition of getting, at some times in life you need to ask what is success and what is happiness. Success is getting what you want, and happiness is wanting what you get. Sometimes you have to make a choice.
I have a feeling that your decision has had a very profound effect on the religion that you follow. You are a Buddhist, you are a staunch Buddhist. Is there something involved in that? I'm sure this question wouldn't have been asked by any journalist or any media person, but I have a feeling that it also has had impact.
Well, it's a very tough question, because I am not renouncing wealth. I'm just leaving a job and to start something more exciting, something more challenging in my own way. But I think this whole my philosophy of empowering the others, and I think that probably that ability to let go of the positions you hold, these are all temporary things. It's not worth hanging on. Because I don't believe that I was always, the company was bigger than me. I never wanted to stand in front of the company. Company is bigger, organization is bigger. And I think I built a team who is empowered, who is running the place. And this year we are going to do a lot of changes and transformation in the company. And when we decided the transformation agenda, 3 of my top team members came and said, Deepa, sit down. And, this transformation we lead. You stay away. What more can you expect from a team? So that I have built. So once you do that, I think, in my mind, I have completed a journey.
Well, Mr. Surachi, you always talk about empowering people. I have a feeling sometimes we as a nation, we as a country is in chaos because we don't know how to empower people at the right time, and also to empower the future of our nation. In that context, I think that you have done a superb job, especially at Eagle Insurance. Could you tell us what were the tools that you used to empower your people?
If you ask me one thing that I have learned in this whole 30 years and maybe 20 years of of management, if you believe in people, they will surprise you. When a kid is small, shorter than the broom, she wants to sweep the house. But when the child is taller than the broom, you'll have to find the child to see whether she can help you in cleaning. That's human psychology. So if you give people challenges that are bigger than them, they get satisfaction, and then you develop people in the process. So you give people, I believe in people, putting them into the deep end, of course with some basic things. And then when they know that you are there, if something goes wrong, they will surprise you. That's how you develop people. You give them the wherewithals, but be there not to take the credit, but to take the blame if there is to anybody. Then people surprises you. Secondly, you should give encouragement all the time. And, well, with some people you can't try empowerment, but with many people empowerment works at different levels, of course. And at Eagle, that culture prevails, you know. People, there are no big people at Eagle, you know. I mean, like, you know, people, there are no, I mean, we sit in an open office. There are no cubicles, because you put cubicles, people, when they can't be controlled, you know. So, you get people, there are no people of that nature. So it's an open office, right? And then, I mean, you can't judge the importance of a person by the table, right? And